Hey guys, today I'm sharing this compilation from one of my favorite truther YouTubers, RV Truth. Now some people would say he's pretty far off the deep end, but I really like the detail that he goes into, and I've put together a couple of his presentations here that I think serve as a very good introduction to numerology and symbolism, particularly in the media and politics. Now this segment is going to appear in Wag the Dog Theory Part 2. If you don't know, I had to make this website wagthedogtheory.com because this video, Wag the Dog Theory, got banned from YouTube and BitChute, and it's a fairly long compilation all about false flags and fake news from history and the present day. Definitely recommend checking that out if you haven't seen it, and you can download it for free there. And keep an eye on that for Part 2, which will be coming out soon. It will be all about the entertainment industry, basically.
During a lot of my presentations, I use the numerology calculator, and I get a lot of questions about it. People look at the names such as Alex Jones here, this fictitious made-up character, nothing more than controlled opposition. Of course, the name was selected to get that 33 now. You might ask, I see the name itself, but the letters don't add up with the number. How is the L the number 3? It all comes down to the chart itself. Let's take a look right here at the Pythagorean numerology chart based off Pythagoras. He did not create this chart. It was named after him. Pythagoras, you see the phony baloney ball earth, the Masonic square and compass, the checkerboard symbolism, and of course the pyramid itself. Again, getting back to the L, this is how it all synchronizes. Just like Fox News, Fox Sports, 20th Century Fox, Fox Film, all comes down to 666 or triple X porn or any type of, brand that you see, like the movie, triple X the movie, the drink, the triple X water. It's all about the occult of 666. You also get someone like Bill Gates. The name itself, Bill Gates, is 33. How does this all happen? How does this all work out? These people that you see here that are propped up, you have so-called talent and you so happen to have a 33 name. You're going to make it big in this world. He's holding his glasses. This is the all-seeing eye, or the eye of illumination, where he has his hands on the glasses like he's illuminated, like he's enlightened. So you see the 33, as I shown many times, in the Bill Gates logo itself, hidden in plain sight as always. Okay, now let's take a look here at the Chaldean chart. It's not used as much when it comes to a lot of the hoaxes and psyops. They use the Pythagorean chart, as you see here, more often. Okay, a little bit different. This is an older chart. More of a complex system, how everything isn't laid out as you'd expect. I find it pretty interesting. Of course, you get your occult of 7-7 with Oz. You also get your, for example, when it comes to like the Golden Gate Bridge, you get your GG for 33 as well. So again, you have to study these charts. So when I show examples such as you'll see here with Walgreens and how it's all laid out, how it all comes together, you got to combine the calculator and study these charts and see how all the numbers, all the names and numbers all come together using these charts. Taking a look here now, talking about Walgreens, for example, and how this world is run by these basic Satanists, all about the occult. Just take a look here at the entire concept of Walgreens. As I've shown, Walgreens is 33, and you get us above here what they call a mortal and pestle, which is a complete joke. We're given false meanings for everything, okay? So-called mortal and pestle, which is nothing more than a cauldron. And again, we're given false meanings for everything in this world. Whatever they tell us, it's a lie. When they feed you nothing more than lies, you'll never figure out the truth. Getting back to this cauldron here, as you can see all the stars, I find it pretty interesting. It's shaped almost like a phallus symbol. Without a shadow of a doubt, I believe they do this on purpose. These are occultists. They're also called the Illuminati. They're illuminated and they're naughty. That's what it all comes down to. And more examples here when it comes to the 33 matrix. You have Albert Pike here, as I shown before. You have the 33, and you have the Phoenix as well. Just take a look at the name itself with Albert Pike. Just happens to be 33. This is why he was propped up going way back in time, because he has the occultic name. I'm showing full names, such as with Kurt Cobain. They also use just first names or last names or combined names, as long as you get that number 33. Here with the KKK, as I've shown many times as well, the whole entire concept of using a K instead of a C to get 11, 11, 11, 33. As you can see here, of course, with Kurt Cobain as well. Another occultist taking a look at this video, going back in time. Kurt Cobain home video well before he was famous. If you're into the occult, you're willing to sell out, you're going to be propped up if you have what they believe is talent. If you're a devil worshiper, a Satanist, and you don't have talent, well, they appreciate your efforts, but they're not going to use you. Having a 33 name is not enough. You have to have talent once again. Just like I pointed out before, the whole entire concept of Meatloaf. Why would someone name themselves Meatloaf? Because Meatloaf is 33. That's what it all comes down to. Now, again, with signs and symbols, here with Helen Keller, even though she was blind, she was into the occult. And the so-called I love you sign, which millions upon millions, if not billions of people, of course, have bought into this lie that it means I love you. The masses have been told everything again based on opposites. This is a sign for the devil himself. Just like the monster drink, people know about this, where you have the symbol, the Vav, which basically is 3 6s on this monster energy drink. The monster energy, Unleash the Beast, is a slogan. Of course, also with the VW Bug, a cult of 66. Just like I shown here with this Sovereign Grand Commander Freemason in your dual 33s for 66. And also with the WWW when it comes to the internet, which is 666 as well. Everything is coded in plain sight. Now, again, when I talk about how there's no heroes in this world, just taking a look here at Mandela with Rockefeller here, okay, with the Queen, okay. It's all theater, and his cell number so happened to be 46664. It's in our hands with his hand up in the air. And you see the sellouts such as Will Smith and Annie Lennox. The world's a stage. Take a look at this poster here, partially covered here by Lionel Richie. I'm not sure who this is, but this is Lionel Richie here, and they cover up the 2 4s to get your 666, and they have their hand up. And again, it's all about communicating without speaking. And again, the importance of signs and symbols, and this is going way back in time with Confucius. Signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor law. And that's very apparent, of course. Life's not fair. Well, there's a reason life's not fair. It's this corrupt system we're living in. But again, the whole topic is signs and symbols. So very important. With Manly P. Hall, very famous Freemason, when the human race learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from the eyes of men. And that gets into a story that I saw today with this TV show, this so-called reality show with Nick McGlashan at 33 years old. And there's so many things here. CNN, TMZ, both owned by Time Warner, pushing this nonsense. You know, it's a coincidence, you know, people might say that. But then when you see this at the age of 33 in his last name, you get your dual 33s as always. Just like these stories that I covered in the past in Cleveland with these 3 females, you know, went missing. We all know about this story in Cleveland. By the way, Cleveland is 33 in numerology. And while, you know, they're happy as clams, as you can see, and they're on stage, you can see the big smile. But what I always point out is at 33. You get your 3, and of course the heart with the open end with the 33. So just the mockery as always. You have Anderson Cooper and this one female talking about Kimberly Vaughn, this case here with this event. And, you know, supposedly, you know, very sad situation here. And what do you see? Obviously here, you know, the big smile and the hand signs as always, the signs and symbols in plain sight. I know there's a lot of people that really like this man, Dr. Kaufman, the signs and symbols again in the back. I believe this is looks like a teardrop. You know, people that come out of nowhere for the latest event on the world stage and are propped up. I'm very suspicious. You know, where's his past work? And people are propping him up. You know, his connections, you know, with Governor Cuomo. I should mention his business partner, Dr. James L. Knoll the fourth. He was really had a lot to do with that one school in the Northeast, helping the family members from that school. We know that so-called event. So he's business partners with that individual. But again, he's being awarded by this man who we all know, as you can see, his brother, an anchorman on CNN. So the connections are not good. This is an interview with Carrie Madej, I believe her surname is, and the rope bridge, which I believe, you know, represents instability, you know, the path. And I mentioned as I shown before, the supposed hero cop, Greg Anderson, 33 on Instagram, with the identical rope bridge in the back, and I mentioned the globe symbolism as well. Be suspicious of everybody. Again, they present these heroes. They're always trying to roll out new heroes, and this is very key to understand. So it doesn't mean he doesn't put out some good information. I'm not saying that, but just be so very cautious. And again, the title here of this live stream with the white horse, Joe Biden, the white horse, we're going to get into that. As I showed in my last stream with Obama in Denver, Colorado, the white horse above him. This is another event I covered, the Santa Fe event with this student named Rome Sherbert with the, as you can see here, the number 33. And these are his classmates. You know, you see the 33 in black on the face. You see the double cross. I mentioned this, like double cross. I double crossed you, you know, on the faces and the duality aspect with that. You had some so-called witnesses, as you can see here, the symbolism here. What you see on the hat, this is the polo logo, of course, but it's the white horse symbolism. And of course, with these individuals, they're given these props. You know, it's not their doing. Just like with the same event, and you see the white horse on the T-shirt. And again, from the same event, you see this man here wearing the Masonic necklace, the square and the compass, as you can see. And the event in Sydney, Australia, 7 Network Australia, as you see here. And I mentioned the white horse and the clock, as you can see what it reads. This is so very key. That gets right into Joe Biden. And just take a look here, as we know, takes place. And of course, Christianity at Care, you get your CC for 33, always coded. And Joe Biden, we know what's happening to him here. And just take a close look. And he extends himself, and there is the exact white horse symbolism. Again, they're all about the symbolism. You know, like they say, devil's in the details. You got to have a keen eye to all these symbols and logos, because it means nothing to the masses, but it means all to them. I want to point out one thing as well. It's kind of hard to see here. Let me see if I can find it in the back. The one eye symbolism here. Again, so very important, the white horse and the CC, as you see here. The 33 and the white horse. Let's get to this one here with this nurse and the 3 and 3, the 33 on the mic. And don't think for a second this is something that just was organic. You know, they're playing both sides of the field. They want to put fear on both sides, the mainstream and the alternative. And you see when it happens, you know, he's already holding her up, you know, before anything, just a safeguard. And I want to show this as well. This is from CNN, and it's with these kids. I'll just call these diapers people put on their face, and they went around the neighborhood picking them up because there are people littering supposedly the neighborhood with these face diapers. And they said they picked up 33 of them. Are you kidding me? And I'll just say, I have to do this in reverse. One kid is 11, the other kid is 9. Just reverse it. You know what you get. Of course, the bricks in the background, completely ridiculous. And again, signs and symbols. This is what it's all about. And also, I should mention, it's like a gold color shirt and a blue. Gold and blue is 33 as well. So there's a lot going on here. People see the obvious, but look further. There's a lot more. It definitely looks like, I'm not sure if these are cutoff pants or the pant leg rolled up, but definitely very Masonic. So anyways, and the slippers too. Slippers is 33. When you so there's so many things going on here. And this guy we all know, and he goes on, and he's getting this put on his arm. But as you can see, he starts touching his other arm. So it's just more mockery for those running this show. Once you learn their language, you're fluent in their language of symbolism, you're going to see a whole lot more on what's really going on. And that's definitely another aspect. Here's Fox News. And you have the Fox, you have the red and the blue. You combine them for purple equals royalty. It's like the billboards in They Live, where people see, you know, the billboard itself, but you know, is obviously there's hidden symbolism and there's hidden meanings, just like with Fox and numerology. So again, the unenlightened see the Fox, and Fox are of course very very clever, very sly. And what do the occultists see? They see what you see here. When it comes to this Matrix, Hollywood, you know, we all know the story about the Hollywood pagans, in Europe, they cut the Hollywood trees, to shape their wands, their magic wands, witches' wands. That's how you get Hollywood. It's Hollywood magic. And again, the signs and symbols everywhere. And when you're looking at Quentin Tarantino with the ball earth on his shirt, by the way, and you see the 3 and the 3 in plain sight, a little bit faint, but you definitely see it on the wallpaper and the mirror reflection. And you see here as well, they have this wallpaper again on the side, and there's a definite reason for that. As you see here, the 3 and the 3 again. I should mention this too. When you think you saw it all, you see the blue, gold, and blue. Blue and gold is 33 in numerology, just like the cups. They love this color coordination. And there's much more about this movie. Of course, as we all know, Samuel L. Jackson, as he reads Bible scripture, he's taking out people. This is just another form of mockery as well. And again, these are just actors, just sellouts, just puppets. And also it needs to be known too, Quentin Tarantino, he's just putting these movies out there. There's people behind the scenes we never see, of course, that want these movies to be put out there. Winston Wolfe played a major part in the movie. Of course, Winston Wolfe is WW for 33, just like, Waterworld, Willy Wonka. It's just like the opposite of MM. Like Mad Max, that's 33. There's Waterworld, which is duality. They're both 33 when you turn them sideways. And this scene here with Winston, again, Winston itself is 33. In his car, the license plates are coded, and they're definitely showing you. This is obviously a shot from the movie, showing a real close up, and then of course in the standard numerology here, it all adds up to 33. Of course, also the combination on the briefcase, we all see it here as John Travolta's rolling it down. So again, people just see the 3 6s here, but also the Franzen on the bottom. And of course, what are you going to get? So you have your 33 with the 666 all together intertwined. Unbelievable. Millions upon millions of people have seen these movies, and they don't see, obviously what's right in front of them. This is what it's all about. This is why it's so important to understand these signs and symbols. Once you've seen this, you can't unsee it. And that gets into the topic of the pyramid symbol and the Maltese cross. When you fold in the sides, it makes a pyramid. Okay, there's another hidden aspect. So people see this logo, like Chrysler as well. And what you're looking at is a top view of a pyramid. This is the very top of the pyramid, and these are the sides going down. You go to the Arco gas station, you see that the pyramid. And also, I should point out too, a lot of these Arco gas stations, you have the dome symbolism over AM, PM. So night and day, and the dome symbolism. And it kind of reminds me of the Citibank logo where they have the dome symbolism over. So night and day, you're living under a dome. And again, the pyramid, everything else you see here, the red and blue. The red and blue, again, purple for royalty. And this is a very important aspect too with gas stations. Again, just like Arco, the red and blue, and the chevron, and chevron being 33. And what I find interesting is we'll get into the police, we'll get into the fire department. As you see, this is the New York Fire Department logo. And you see, you'll understand who's behind it all with the police, the firefighters, all of them. So they highlight Rescue Me on top. And of course, you can have your 33. So, and just take a look at this one ring here. And you see the pyramid structure. Again, just like the Arco, a little bit different on top, but definitely the four-sided pyramid as well in this ring. The Masonic firefighters, of course, the ladder symbolism. We all know about that with masonry. And again, a little bit different, but this is definitely like the pyramid, like the Maltese cross, but just a bit wavy and just more of the same when it comes to firefighters. And this is important. Of course, a lot of these events that we've seen over the years, you have the police and the firefighters working side by side, and of course, the people at the top. And you see the gloves, you see the checkerboard. It goes hand in hand with the, no pun intended with the hands, with the Freemasonic lodges. And there's so much more. As you can see here, they're wearing the gloves just like the Masons wear the gloves. Police and Freemasonry, just like I showed with the fire departments. And of course, you have the police, and you have the G with the police being 33, and the G itself. Flip over the alphabet A through Z, 1 through 26. You get to 30. You get to G, it's at 33. And even the cuffs. Well, I'll just show this as I show every time. The dual 33s with a Grand Sovereign Commander. But even the cuffs, take a look at this. Unbelievable. And people think it's just an amazing coincidence. It's just unbelievable. And it gets to this, more mockery from the music industry. Of course, Mason controlled music industry with Kate Bush and her wearing the dunce cap, looking down at the globe. It's unbelievable. But more signs and symbols. Bank of America, you have 2 slashes here, basically 2 11. So 11, 11, 11, 33. And again, the red and the blue for purple. And of course, we know about this group. And getting back to, as I've shown here, the music industry, so much programming in every aspect, of course, with MTV. And right between the two hosts for MTV, they have the Masonic square and compass in plain sight with the bricks. How they put everything in plain sight. And I'm not saying they even know. They have a clue. They're just hired help. But definitely, the cameraman is told to have this all worked out just like this. And of course, I showed this in the past with the Thompson twins. And how many ballers do you need? Give me a break. All in plain sight with the symbolism, with the baller programming. And of course, with the Eurythmics, the rocket in the back. She spins a globe. She's wearing a man suit. It's about duality with the orange hair. And just to point it out with the mockery, they're telling you, look at the hair. It's not like they're just talking. You see the hair. They're actually saying, look at this. Are you people that dumb you don't understand? We're putting hairspray, and they're just laughing their butts off. It's ridiculous. So this is something that I mentioned earlier with the whole entire Michael Jackson saga, and the attorney, well known for being a Mason and doing the Masonic hand pose, because you're just like this Mason here. This is something I covered years ago. This is actually a clip from that video I made about Michael Jackson and that whole debacle. One of the people that took the stand in relation to Michael Jackson, and her name is Sade Ending, like sad ending. It's just, again, everywhere you look, there's going to be mockery. But you got to put all these things together. And there's so much more. They pass with no warning, and that's for shock value. It happened with Bowie, which we'll get into later. With David Bowie, they want it for shock value. They want to, if someone is passing, and it's coming, it's not going to hit as hard. So that's why these celebrities go off into the sunset with no warning. And very important, I want to point this out, this character on the world stage. And very important, Bill Hicks looks different throughout all these photos. I mean, it's unbelievable. Sometimes it looks nothing like the character Alex Jones that he plays. But this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the same person. Yeah, they did a little bit of touch-up with his ears. He looks a bit different. But when the world's on stage and the players have their, many players play different roles. They have their exit. He's just a character on the world stage. And again, look at the hand symbolism here. We all know what that is. An InfoWars twice. Why is that? So you have Alex Jones, who is 33 in numerology, as we all know, and InfoWars itself is 33. And also, people are focusing on Max Egan, but they don't see what's right here on the mic, like I showed earlier. But the bottom line is Max Egan, just like Alex Jones, Max Egan being 30. And of course, not his real name. Just like Alex Jones, not his real name. And here's another deceiver with Mark Passio, who's appeared many times on Alex Jones' show. What on earth is happening? He's showing the globe. And this is another one of the most transparent frauds. And just take a look here. Side by side, two deceivers side by side. How nice. Like they say, birds of a feather flock together. Well, here you go. And also, I'm going to mention this, the serpent with the three, basically 3 6s on it. But I'm going to get more of that with the Vatican, with signs and symbols. You see the three stooges here, 3 deceivers. Again, Egan, Ike, and Kevin O'Keefe, another one with the orange shirt. And they put out some truth, and people get all excited. And, of course, the bricks in the back as well. And here's Rush Limbaugh doing the very Masonic hand pose, the double over the lips. This is, Mason's thing, tell no secrets. And of course, the E and the 3, you combine these two. This is why 8s are so important, like 88, because you connect them together. The E and the 3 together make or the flipped E is a 3. You connect them together. Of course, they make an 8. You have the 33 in plain sight. So again, 88 miles an hour. You split the 8.5. You have your dual 33s when you flip the E to the 3. So definitely part of the game, Rush Limbaugh. And what I'm getting at here is this event. We all know about Ron Brown, and there's commentary here by Rush Limbaugh. Let's take a listen at what is said here. This is World Stage Theater stuff happening here with Bill Clinton and Rush Limbaugh both playing the part.
Following a memorial service for Ron Brown, laughing and yucking it up here. You'll see as this guy in a gray suit gets out of the way. Ooh, look at that smile. He's having a great old time. Oh, camera. Oh, no. Watch. Here we go. Now, here's the tear. Watch the tear here. Oh, there's the gritted. Oh, he keeps walking. He knows the camera's on him, ladies and gentlemen, and he knows how he's got to act. This is what he thinks the people are expecting him to feel.
Well, this is the whole thing. Again, this is World Stage Theater, where they're both, Rush Limbaugh and Bill Clinton, are playing a role. And if I can get to it here, you see Bill Clinton, of course, laughing it up. There's no doubt about it. The big smile on his face until he sees the camera. And this is, of course, meant to happen. Then he gets all sad. It's pretty hilarious, though. But it's no different than watching a TV show when you're watching the stuff like this. It's the same thing. There's no difference. And Bill Clinton, on cue was going to do this, of course. But it's still hilarious. World Stage Theater stuff that even truthers bought. Truthers would post this. And, oh, look at Bill Clinton. The same thing with Monica, that whole debacle. There's so many pictures of Monica and Bill together. And, people, they fell for that hook, line, and sinker. But that's just another way to make the media look legit. Something I put together years and years ago that's been passed around on Twitter, Facebook. The CNN logo turned sideways is a 33. As a child, I remember seeing when I was younger, seeing the CNN logo. I'm like, that's a strange logo. When you see it like this, we all know the infamous CNN logo. But I always looked at this like, what's the deal with this logo? It's hard to even see the CNN. It's kind of just, but now, again, everybody understands why. It's very crystal clear of why they created that logo. And definitely an important aspect is the world being a stage, and everybody that's a big player on the world stage, even someone like Steve Austin with pro wrestling, giving this one guy who's well known for being a Mason in Australia, doing the Masonic handshake, and put this on Twitter. I tagged Steve Austin, and what does he do? He blocked me for pointing this out. So I thought that was funny. And just like I said earlier, with Bowie, and this is Jack Stephen, a day after Bowie was, quote, no longer with us. But the big thing is the teeth. These teeth do not lie. Well, they do lie, but they don't lie, type of thing. But yeah, I just find it funny, talking about Bowie and, Bowie in this ridiculous disguise. I know the nose is a bit off, but of course I showed Michael Jackson prosthetics they put on and disguise people. It's a ridiculous disguise, but it's hilarious. It's just the people behind the scenes, they have a funny sense of humor. So here's the teeth with Bowie. There's no gaps with Jack Stephen, and here's the real Jack Stephen being interviewed. Very similar, but not the same to Bowie. And now a bit more on the occultic side with these so-called artists, more like con artists, with Rihanna and the Rihanna's concert, 7 countries, 7 days, 7 shows, tour, and of course all about the occult of Crowley with the 777 and numerology. We all know what it means, order out of course, and in other Kabbalistic writings of Aleister Crowley. So the 777, people say, what's the reason for the numbers? Well, if you understand gematria, which is different than numerology, that's another thing I should point out. People have numerology and gematria mixed up. They're not the same. They are two different things. They're similar, but not the same. So I just definitely want to point that out. And of course, you see the pillars, the winged a disc symbolism as well. And this is actually, I should mention, this is also in Washington's Masonic Museum as well. This is over George Washington, the same exact symbolism. And let's see what else here. I've covered this before years ago with the Beastie Boys and their album cover symbolism. We see what's happening here with this plane, and Beastie as in the beast, just like Monster Drink. You see these two buildings here. You see what the man's holding here. This is supposedly a movie theater, but you know what this represents, and we see here as well. So definitely the symbolism is so very key with everything they do. And of course, the Beastie Boys had nothing to do with the symbolism. They have nothing to do with any of this stuff. They're just puppets on a string. And again, signs and symbols with the Catholic Church. You have the Pope here, Benedict, like Benedict Arnold. The Maltese cross, you fold this. This is an actual pyramid on him. But what I'm getting at, the more important aspect, what you see here is the goat on this staff. You're going to see it. It's kind of blurry, I know, but this is definitely, hidden symbolism with the Masonic goat, as you see here. And if people question that, then you got to take a look at this. Pope Francis, and you see this staff as well. Again, symbolism is everywhere with the dual snakes wrapped around the staff, and of course the crown. And what do we see here? Again, the dual snakes and the Masonic goat, as above, so below. Washington, all the symbolism, so very important. And we all know about the Vatican staircase. People are like, what is this? Why is it? What's up with the spirals? You see the 6 and 6 with the design all around. But again, the spiral staircase represents a serpent. And that's why they're big into the spiral symbolism. Just like I showed with Mark Passio, and they have the "Don't Tread on Me" with the serpent. That's definitely, as you can see, a 6 as well. And that gets to, again, what I showed earlier at the very beginning with the billboards, with the Obey and the billboard. You look at this billboard. I mean, with this billboard, they're not even hiding anything. With this Park Avenue show, and again, the spiral. You see the spiral case all in plain sight. And that gets into the last image I'm going to screen share for this live stream is the Wizard of Oz. Of course, they're going down this path, to meet the man behind the curtain, behind, all these, all their obstacles on the way there that they meet. But this is literally, their journey starts at the end of the serpent's tail. And that's what this symbolizes. Just like Disneyland, it seems sweet to the, from the outside, from the surface, but things are much deeper. Again, the devil's in the details with the serpent's tail that leads down the path.
John chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.
Very excited to announce my newest book, Everything the Government Does is Bad for Us. And you can get the paperback on Amazon for just $9.99. And you can find the video read-along version or the audiobook on my website, noticebooks.org. And all of my books, audiobooks, and links are available on my website, noticebooks.org. And make sure to check out my channel for many other videos on a whole array of subjects. And my other channels are all in the description of this video.